You've been lied to about horror villains. The mask, the knife, the rules, those are the decoys. In this countdown, we strip 10 icons down to the core lie the marketing sold you and the terrifying truth creators later confirmed. We're talking human versus inhuman, ghost versus hive, prankster versus predator. I'll state the simple story you believed and the canon truth you missed. By the end, you won't watch a single trailer the same way again. A is not A, it's actually B. Reveals that fans predicted and the filmmakers validated. Number 1, Michael Myers was never human. Halloween. You thought he was just a quiet guy with a cardio routine and a kitchen knife. The lie is man with a knife. The catch is a mask stapled onto a myth that keeps walking no matter what you throw at it. Halloween sells normalcy, a cul-de-sac, babysitters, one dude in coveralls, clean premise. Then he gets shot, torched, launched off balconies, and still clocks in like gravity's a rumor. That's not bad policing. That's broken physics with a face. So here's the thing. The series literally tested a different engine. The thorn thread doesn't make him quirky. It drafts him as a carrier. Evil like a virus, passed through ritual, not upbringing. In the producer's cut of 6, he's basically infrastructure. The man is the casing. The drive is the curse. That's why Kill the Man never balanced the books. Jump to the reboot era and the language hard switches to embodiment. He's the shape, not Michael, and Loomis treats him like weather in a trench coat. When creators stick that label on him, they're flagging the metaphysical. Different timelines battle over backstory, yet they all land on the same outcome: inhuman persistence. Shoot him, trap him, burn him. He files an extension. Number 2, Jason Voorhees was always supernatural. Friday the 13th, he was sold as a hulking woods guy with mom issues. Fans clocked the loop first. The dude dies, the dude returns. Like the lake keeps renewing his lease. Early sequels push a dirty, breathing Jason. Angry, territorial, alive. He sprints, he grunts, he bleeds. It reads like a backwoods vendetta with a hockey mask. Simple. Then the math goes sideways. The body count grows, the injuries escalate, and he keeps punching the time card. Part 6 flips the switch in broad daylight. Coffin, lightning, Frankenstein spark. That's a thesis statement. From that moment, the movies treat him like a storm front. Machetes, decorative, chains, jewelry, even the Manhattan sewer bath. He walks it off like Gatorade. The pivot sticks. Jason goes to hell, sprinkles arcane winks, and the series treats him as a curse that moves and endures. Jason X makes it blunt. Cryo, centuries, space, rebooted metal. He persists because the operating system is undead. The franchise stops pretending it's a camping accident and starts staging a monster showcase. Creators leaned into it. Tom McLaughlin engineered the resurrection beat to lock in a supernatural Jason. Kane Hodder's tenure built the physicality around that unstoppable design. Once that engine's in, early ambiguity gets retrofitted. The only way the rules make sense, across burns, drownings, dismemberment, is undead physics baked from the jump. Number 3, Freddy Krueger feeds on fear to stay alive. Nightmare on Elm Street. You were told he kills you in your sleep. Cute. Here's the catch. He eats fear to stay on the grid. We all know the surface rules. The glove, the boiler room, fall asleep and you're fair game. You try coffee and TV marathons. He waits. It looks like a slasher with a sleep tax. But why does silence hurt him and panic juice him up? That's not blades and blood math. That's a tulpa economy. New Nightmare lays it out. Freddy isn't just a guy in stripes. He rides the current of collective dread. The more the story spreads, the more he stabilizes, stepping out of fiction like it's a revolving door. Fear is the adapter that lets him plug into reality. In Freddy vs. Jason, the citywide Whisper campaign is a fuel dump. The moment people remember his name, he upgrades from rumor to weather event. Craven framed him as an archetypal demon feeding through the story of Freddy, a mimetic predator that parasitizes culture. That meta text isn't cute commentary, it's the rulebook. Inside the series, you see the dials. Kids starve themselves of sleep, shut down the chatter, and he thins out. Nurses push Hypnosil, parents bury the case files, and he flickers. Then a rumor spikes, a news hit lands, and he roars back like surge pricing. Number 4, Leatherface was a victim before he was a killer. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You saw a chainsaw. You missed the system that built the hand holding it. The Texas Chainsaw myth sells a face-wearing butcher who loves power tools. Sounds simple, but here's the catch. The original film frames him like a worker on a line. obedient, nervous, always checking for orders before he moves. Watch how he behaves when strangers breach the house. He panics, he kills, then slams the metal door like he just broke a rule and needs to fix it fast. He looks for direction. He doesn't stalk for sport, he performs tasks. That reads as control, not leadership. The family dynamic is the engine. A patriarchal setup, economic collapse after slaughterhouse work dries up, and he's the one pressed into labor. Childlike compliance, disability-coded behavior, constant correction. He's the tool they wield. Tobe Hooper framed him as a tragic figure inside a cannibal clan that survives by exploiting their own. Let that sink in. Sequels and prequels keep that line. The Next Generation and the 2017 prequel dig into the abuse pipeline. Isolation, coercion, and training that looks a lot like punishment. The masks aren't just costumes, they're assignments. Each face signals a role the family wants. Cook, killer, caretaker, so his identity stays fragmented and easy to aim. Number 5. Chucky is permanently possessed, not just a doll, child's play. You thought it's just a killer doll, cute toy, bad vibes. But here's the catch. This is a permanent possession problem, not a plastic malfunction. Child's Play sells the scare like a product recall. Good guy, gone evil. Swap the batteries, toss the box. The marketing points at the shell. The lore points at the soul. Charles Lee Ray didn't die. He rerouted. The Damballa ritual locked him into the doll with a time limit to jump into a human. He kept missing the window. Every failure welded spirit to chassis a little tighter. Then the rules evolve. The ritual doesn't just bind, it scales. Across curse and cult and the TV run, Chucky stops being singular. He replicates, he splits his consciousness, runs multiple dolls like a network, and acts in sync across rooms, houses, states. Smash a body, he shrugs. Melt a face, he forwards the call. Disposal is a flex for your trash can, not a solution. Don Mancini built it that way on purpose. The franchise treats Chucky's identity like a protocol, persistent, portable, and sticky. The personality survives the fire, the bullets, the wood chipper, because the doll is only a terminal. The killer is the software. Number 6. Pennywise is an ancient cosmic entity, not a clown. IT. Clown? No. You're looking at an ancient, extra-dimensional apex that cosplays as your worst thought. The grease paint is a lure. The sewer is a storefront. The thing behind it lives on a scale that makes towns feel like ant farms. IT sells dairy like a local haunting. A sewer clown stalks kids, leaves balloons, vanishes into drain grates. Neighbors look away. Cops shrug. It reads like a small-town curse with tidy boundaries. But here's the catch. Those boundaries bend. The weirdness pulses on a timer, and the town behaves like a host. The deadlights blow the doors open. Stare too long and your mind folds. The macroverse sits behind the mask, with maturing hints like breadcrumbs for anyone who's paying attention. Every 27 years it wakes, feeds, and sleeps. That's not a ghost schedule. That's cosmic ecology. Hibernation, harvest, reset. Stephen King's meta-lore calls Pennywise an avatar of it. Forms are bait. The clown hits because kids step closer. The deadlights are the real face, if you can even call it a face, where perception short-circuits. You don't fight it with fists, you fight it by hacking the interface. The films streamline, but they nod hard. The deadlights swirl like an infinite tunnel. The layer goes geometric and wrong, angles that feel illegal. The world bends because the thing behind the clown isn't from here. Belief and ritual matter because they're adapters, not superstition. Conviction shapes contact. Collective focus writes a bridge to something outside time. Number 7. Jigsaw never planned survivable games. Saw. You believed live or die, make your choice. The choice was theater. The franchise sold lessons. Pain now, gratitude later. Sounds fair until you clock the wiring, the timing, the hands you never see. Do the math. A lot of devices require 2 participants or precise alignment you can't do when chained up. Doors that slam shut the second you move. Timers hidden behind panels. Traps that demand expertise a random addict or cop wouldn't have at 3 a.m. It's like being handed a calculus exam while blindfolded and told it's open book. Then the machinery behind the curtain shows up. Apprentices, timelines that overlap, medical realities that make recovery impossible even if you win. The philosophy turns into logistics theater where rigging and revenge ride shotgun. Hoffman's era is the bold-faced tell. He tweaks designs, removes outs, and calls it moral instruction. Creators later admit the morality shifted as the saga expanded, and that shift blurs Kramer's alleged code into a cult workflow. The brand keeps the sermon. The underlings do the killing. The audience gets the montage. Case studies are loud. The pendulum trap, framed as a lesson while the blade guarantees a coffin. The angel trap, anatomy says no chance. Hoffman's modifications yank safety valves while the tape still preaches redemption. That's not fairness. That's optics. Number 8. Ghostface is the least dangerous part of the story. Scream. You fear the robe. The real threat is the script running behind it. Scream sells you a solvable mask, phone calls, movie rules, a whodunit you can crack in the third act. It feels contained, like a puzzle box with one answer and a curtain call. But here's the catch. The body count scales because the town and the media keep rebooting the franchise inside the story. Every report, every true crime obsession, every stab sequel reprints the mask. The killers rotate like guest hosts. The engine never shuts off. Woodsboro becomes content, and content pays in attention. Each sequel shifts the mirror. One dissects sequel bloat, another drags remakes, then legacy worship, then toxic fandom that thinks stabbing is a hot take. Ghostface stops being a single killer and turns into a symptom of what the culture rewards. It's real. It's happening. The filmmakers lean into the decentralization with multiple killer reveals that make the mask feel like a login credential, not a face. You can swap out the person and the rules still fire because the discourse keeps handing out scripts. The rules aren't static. They mutate with the meta. When clout, fame, or revenge get clicks, knives come out. It's like living next to a generator that runs on trending topics. Number 9. The Babadook represents a real, unkillable presence. The Babadook. You saw a pop-up book monster. The fine print said permanent residence. That's the twist. The story frames a single mom, her kid, and a shadow that moves like mildew. Slow, constant, and hard to scrub out once it settles in the cracks. Here's the thing. Every fix backfires. She rips the book, burns it, hides it. The pages come back with new chapters. The more she denies, the louder it gets. That's not ghost logic. That's trauma logic. Suppression behaves like fertilizer. You don't solve it by silence. You feed it when you pretend it's not there. Jennifer Kent has said the Babadook embodies grief, unresolved, recurring, manageable, but never exercised. Let that sink in. The creature isn't a house guest you evict. It's the rent you budget for after loss changes your cost of living. Sounds bleak. It's actually honest. So the basement ending lands different. Feeding it isn't surrender, it's maintenance. She brings a bowl, it snarls, it calms. You acknowledge it on your terms and it stays in its room. The wound remains, so the presence remains. That's the system. Contrast that with the usual exorcism playbook. No priest, no Latin, no bright white finale where the house resets. It's daily work. Some days steady, some days spiky, and you keep showing up because that's how you keep the walls standing.